I'm not going to say Happy New Year because I've already said Happy New Year on our other two shows, and they've already had episodes come out this year. But this is the first APA of 2024. So, hello, and welcome back to the APA.
And Happy New Year.
Did you guys enjoy your break? And Happy New Year. Did you guys enjoy the break? Did you guys enjoy the time off from recording and all that? You know, all the pressures of being super successful, well-known star
I wouldn't know anything
podcasters.
about all that, man.
Essentially celebrity status podcasters. Yes, absolutely.
Like top tier, S tier podcasters.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to fake it till you make it, I guess.
That's me in a nutshell, Adam.
You know, pretend for the job you want. You know?
Zach, do you think in 243 episodes you've gotten any closer to making it, or are we still fully 100% in the fake it category?
Man, can I answer this question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Baby, you faking it until the day you die. Anybody who says otherwise is a liar. Sorry.
Can I also answer this question?
Sure.
Yes.
He said in 243 episodes. I guess we'll see how this one goes.
Okay. Cool.
So, and also, okay, to be technical, we've had more than that.
Yeah,
Because
well,
we've
you know
had
what? This is number
multi-parters.
243. No, you're right, though. I like it, Emily. Thanks.
Sorry.
You out pedantic to Josh right now.
I love it.
And he conceded. He was like, you know what? You're more pedantic than I am.
Yeah,
I didn't win on
I
that.
appreciate it.
New year,
So he's
new
like, I'm
us.
here for it. No, nothing new about any of this. Nothing new about any of this. What is new is that you guys see the new landing page. I really went all out with the lighting effects on this one.
I hadn't noticed.
It's pretty fucking trippy, and I'm here for it. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. Founder's fun to do lighting effects on. I also did a lot of lighting effects on the map that's coming up, so that should be fun. You know, I really wanted to
Please
go
look
out
forward
big.
to it.
Yeah. Look forward to it.
Really put our
What?
Chromebooks through their paces.
What's wrong with you? Look forward to it.
I feel like it's ominous.
On your Steam Deck.
You could, baby. You absolutely could. It would fly.
I don't believe it.
It's steam
I don't
powered.
believe it. Oh, right. Okay.
You know.
Well, it needs the blimp top as well.
Yeah.
That's a separate attachment.
Actually, a dirigible.
Dirigible, yes.
If we're all being pedantic here.
That's our new pivot, pedantic podcast.
Yeah. I don't know if it's much of a pivot, though. You know.
Again, it's just normal Thursday.
Yes, it's normal Thursday
It
for
is
sure.
a pivot. It's 360 degrees of pivot.
Why are our tires just spinning?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Because that's what tires do, John.
They also make contact with the road. Huh?
Oh,
Hey.
Man.
Yep, and we're talking about fishing.
He did a fish thing, is what I was going to say.
I watched the New Year's show. It was so much fun.
Dude, it really was like the whole thing. It was like the whole
It was the whole
mythos.
thing,
It was.
man.
It was the
was.
whole
It
thing.
was.
It was great.
Well, like they did the entire mythos. That we were
We were talking about
joke-
the lore or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, their New Year's gag for this year was like a full production of the lore, and so for 2 hours they told the story of Gamehenge, and
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was cool.
that's the thing. I knew, I wasn't joking at all. Like, I know that there is extensive lore there. You know what I mean? There's lots of bands that have lore, both like the lore of the history of the band, and then also any type of fictitious lore within their own sort of mythos of their discography or whatever. You know,
Right.
and Fish is certainly prolific in that category. I was fully aware of that. I remember we were at Dane's house one time back in
Right.
Hattiesburg, and you had, or was it Dane that had the book? That
well, I
was
gave him the book. Yeah,
and it was a tome.
A tome?
Dude.
You also
It was
gave
a
me the book.
grimoire, yeah.
Grimoire.
yeah. Now that book, while it certainly has some of the Gamehenge stuff in it, that was more the tome of the band's like history, in
Which
the
I
mythos.
would also call lore.
Right.
yeah.
But it was that. It's that lore, right? It's like
not- yeah.
has every set list they had done up to that point. It had like show reviews. It had song backgrounds and histories, and all.
I would
the
argue
things.
that kind of stuff is the lore of the band,
Sure.
in the sense that most bands have that kind of lore, right?
Definitely. I think with Fish, they're 40-year-old band with the same 4 dudes. That's going to establish a lot of jokes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to talk about Fish.
It's a regular Thursday here at STF. And we're
I
just
apologize for that.
Yeah,
What
that was
is
John's
your
fault.
That was
Hey
me.
guys, how's the weather going?
Oh,
It's about to be cold.
It's about to be extremely cold down here.
But, okay, can we also talk about how it was like 79 today? Like, and then it's going to be 29, I think, tomorrow night. So whatever.
turn on
we
my
got
AC
we got another
today.
round of storms coming in. There's going to cover basically the whole state, and then I think Monday is.
we got like
saying
freezing warnings.
It could be there could be snow, possibly ice, like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, so
And also,
ice.
I
Miserable,
believe,
yeah.
potential for single-digit temperature at
That's
night.
stupid. That's not acceptable. This is Mississippi.
Where weather has constantly been chaotic.
That's true. That's true. Are we hitting all of? Are you
What
getting
there's
bingo,
still a few.
listeners? Listeners.
Yeah, we need to talk. I was gonna say we need to talk about food in some way.
biscuits. Oh, hold on.
We've done
okay.
biscuits. We've done
No.
biscuits to death.
Have y'all heard "Taste the Biscuit"?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
No.
I shared this a while ago, but it's like this old lady and this old man. Old man's
I
playing a
have.
keyboard, and
Yes.
she's like
Taste
singing a
the
song. They're like
biscuit.
a clothing
yes,
store.
Yes, dude. Yes, I
It's
have,
so
yeah.
weird.
It's a jam though. It's a bop, dude.
That gets stuck in my head at least
a low-key
once every 2
banger.
weeks. Yeah, like brushing my teeth. I'm like, "Taste the biscuit."
All right, so Emily, this is going to be broad, but considering that we are coming close to the end of APA, and when we first started APA, there it is. There we go. Got that one in.
Yeah,
All right.
there you
APA, when we first started, you had seen no movie ever, and now you have seen almost every movie, I think.
Certainly much more than none. I've certainly seen
I
that.
think you've seen quite a lot.
Just all the English language ones.
Probably, I think more than I have for sure. Like,
I mean, we've seen a fair.
I mean, how many videos have you done?
I'm looking
Are you in
at
like the hundreds?
Oh yeah, I think we're. Well, I'm trying to pull up my damn YouTube thing.
While you're looking that up, do you feel more culturally enriched now that you've seen these movies that everybody was giving you hell for not seeing?
Yes, I do. So I watched Cheech and Chong specifically the other day.
Speaking of cultural enrichment,
Cultural
enrichment,
man.
Hold on. I mean, like my local culture, like our culture that we've cultivated, because like he was saying something like, yeah, man. And I was like, oh my God, he sounds just like Weldy. And I was like, oh, that's where he got Weldy. That's where the bit is
Dave's
from.
not here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, and now I get it. I get it, That was a like low key silly one, but also it was one of those where I was like,
Light
oh
bulb moment type
shit.
thing.
Well, it definitely had an impact. It was like one of the first, if not the first, like real breakthrough stoner movie.
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if it tells me how many videos that I have on here. I don't know. It's a lot. Well over 100.
Well over 100.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can say that for certain.
Are there any? Is there like a couple big ones that you're saving for like when you really need to get those hits, those clicks? Are you saving like a couple for like rainy days, like Shawshank Redemption? You holding on to that one?
So I've seen Shawshank. I
Okay,
watched it
all right.
before the channel. But mostly the big blockbuster movie. Like I haven't watched any Mission Impossibles yet because I figure once we get on that, I'll just do it. We're gonna watch Rocky 3 this month, so that's like a big
Nice.
deal.
Okay.
He immediately is like, did the
Yes.
Robert Redford nod?
Have you seen Jeremiah Johnson, where that Robert Redford nod comes from?
No.
Okay, you should
Also
add that to
great.
the list. Yeah, you should add that to the list.
I actually haven't
Jeremiah
seen that either.
Johnson.
Yeah.
It may
Yep,
be on the list. Yeah, the list is like 3,000
like,
long.
It's like Into the Wild, but without a dumbass.
Okay.
Like, it's the same idea as that, but it's fictional, so, like, the dude doesn't immediately die.
Right.
What's into? Oh shit! Have I seen Into the Wild? What's that?
Yeah, spoiler, but...
Yeah.
Luckily, it's
But, I mean,
me,
it's-
so I'll forget it.
Well, it's like a true story, so, like, I mean, it's not...
Can't get around what actually happened.
Yeah, this is what happened.
What did you say? It's Jeremiah Jones.
Jeremiah
Johnson.
Johnson. And Jeremiah Johnson was a central figure, speaking of mythos and bands, in Chance Fisher's written mythos.
Oh, okay.
We kind of took that name, and he was a killer in our mythos.
Goodness,
I thought Jeremiah
we
was
were-
a bullfrog.
that is accurate.
be.
He was, in
Yeah,
fact.
that's
yes.
also true. Yeah, like Chance Fisher and Exhibit A, like basically anything that Judd Joel and I did had a lot of dark, like murderous stories in it. I don't know why it just did. That was just like what we.
It's that Steely
wrote about.
Dan sardonic fucking approach to songwriting, you know?
Trying to add
Yep.
this
All
movie.
all of the song's protagonists are extremely flawed, fucked up people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, that's Steely Dan in a nutshell, right?
Pretty much. Pretty much. It, like in a lot of bands, like Radiohead and Pink Floyd too, all have like
Floyd for sure. Yeah, I can't speak to what I haven't like thought about Radiohead in depth enough.
Well,
I guess.
Radiohead
And
is
lyrically,
a-
right? Lyrically, I haven't. Like,
yeah,
dug into
lyrically,
it.
but like it's also not as like clear. You know, they're a lot more
It's more
obtuse
avant-garde
lyrically.
kind of.
Sure, yeah.
They can be. I don't know. They're very experimental. So a lot of the time, like the music itself is taking up so much of your brain space that like the lyrics being are a part of that, but like you're not thinking about the lyrics and what they
Well, it's not
mean,
like Tom
you know?
is enunciating anything
No,
he
I
says
mean, I
anyway.
just think
you
about
know?
Tom is, you know, just another instrument in the mix, right? And I mean, and I think he thinks about himself that way. You know? what
Yeah,
I
well,
mean?
there was a shift after OK Computer where he like consciously decided to use his voice as an instrument rather than like just belting out words, you know?
right.
Yep.
What kind of cereal
Well-
did y'all eat this morning?
Okay. I didn't eat cereal.
Didn't eat cereal this morning.
I had a
I didn't
Jimmy
eat cereal
Dean
this morning.
croissant. It's sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, you know?
I'm into it.
I had a coffee.
I had grits and
Last night,
toast.
I ate a bowl of Honey Bunches of Oats. So,
All right.
I had a cold slice of pizza from Pizza Shack.
Hell yeah.
It was good.
I'm about it.
I rarely eat cereal, and if I do, it's always at night. But I got to show you guys something. Hold on.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
I'm
That's what I'm saying.
excited.
Dude, I eat more cereal at night than in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
I
that.
swear most people
This
do.
motherfucker has a box of cereal in his room.
It's
for display.
Dale
For
on it.
display.
It's got, yeah, okay. It's display. It's a display. It's a box of Wheaties
Yes.
with Dale Earnhardt on it.
Hell, praise.
My dad, I was
I'm sitting here trying
astounded.
anyway.
My dad has had this box of Wheaties. I guess this is my birthright. Since 2010.
I don't have much to leave you, son. But
My NASCAR commemorative plates and this box
know,
of
like-
Wheatie with Dale on it.
I've already stolen most of his like Dale Earnhardt memorabilia, but I guess this was like his crown jewel he was holding on to. And he gave me this obviously empty Wheaties box that is, it's from 2010 when the NASCAR Hall of Fame, like they didn't have a Hall of Fame before that. Right?
Yeah.
it's like, I hope that one day you give this to your son.
Right. And it's like, that's awesome, Dad, but also very, very weird.
Are you gonna frame
I
it?
love it. Yes.
No, but it is on my shelf with my other
yeah.
memorabilia.
Oh,
Can I get a shadow box for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like put it in a shadow box, light it from the box, and then put a couple like little cars.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
man, that'd be
Hell
slick
yeah.
right there.
I do
That'd be
want to get
slick.
so like my journey, my NASCAR journey has really made some progress in the last year. I'm fully back in. Like I'm on it. Like I'm counting the days until the Daytona 500.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Like I'm so ready. But it's just it's funny that one of our shows like did that. Like awakened that in me again, and like in a weird way was a healing process. Like I was like, I can be a NASCAR fan and like fuck you, I don't care. Like I can enjoy this thing. So now I've got like way too much memorabilia. But I want to get back into the diecast game because that's the cool memorabilia is the diecast cars. But that's the expensive.
I was gonna say some of that shit is worth money.
Yeah. What were you saying, Adam? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say that Redshift Rally was, I think, a pretty transformative experience for all of us. And like surprisingly so. Like, I think we all came away from it like, okay, I'm either A, better at this whole thing that we do, or I appreciate NASCAR on a deeper level than I ever thought I would.
And also, we learned the real value of peeing between people's legs.
And we learned the real value of peeing between people's legs.
Yeah.
I mean, in really all seriousness, it's like overcoming challenges. Like that was one of the most those of us who were in that game, it's one of the most challenging TTRPG experiences I've ever had. And so getting like it kind of sucked for a little while, and we had to get to a point to turn a quarter and make something good out of it, and it ends up being awesome and kind of transformative, but you really had to go through some muck to get there, and that always changes you, hopefully for the better as a person.
Well, we've spent 5 years working through this game, y'all. 5 years. And we're definitely in the end game. I've been saying it for a year,
when
but
we started
like for
this,
real,
I was
this
in
time.
my 20s.
Damn, I can't say that, but I was in my 30s.
Yeah, right.
Same, bro. Same.
But does anybody remember what's going on? You need an old fashioned.
We're
on the tram, baby.
Yeah, that's like basically what it is. Like I mean. You're trying to save the entire universe from the Civ. And, just as a reminder, the Civ do have the Starstone locked into a tractor beam that is the quantum ray. And you guys are trying to get in there to stop that before the Starstone breaches through the dome, the protective dome that keeps the atmosphere livable in Absalom Station. And also keep the Starstone, in its place where it should be, And you are aboard the Ark Prime, which is a million-year-old ship that houses a bunch of cryogenically frozen Civ. It was supposed to be a colonization ship that they were going to go and conquer the rest of the universe. Some stuff happened, and they've just been kind of adrift, but you do know that Viraranch, one of the commanders in charge of this project, uploaded his consciousness to the ship before it was launched and before he died, and over millions of years has been corrupted over time and is a mess and is what's controlling the ship now. So you're going to try to stop that. These moon giants that you found along the way mentioned that the artificial intelligence is locked away in a rail state, and that you have to go to the AI core and find a way to reboot it to draw him into the material plane so you can actually defeat him and wipe the ship out from the AI. You also know that there is an impending cosmic conjunction that is happening, and the focal point is the Ark Prime. The little bit that you know from that is that Orin transcended kind of accidentally not too long ago and talked with Xeno as they floated in space, and the Song of the Cosmos was sung to them as they watched two entities come to the Ark Prime, a big purple cosmic force and a big green cosmic force, and they all combined on the Ark Prime. You don't know what the purple or the green one is. You just know that that's impending and that Oren has been thinking about it, and surely Zeno's probably been doing research in the meantime, but you've had to deal with what's going on the ship. You cleared out the detainee deck and made your way to the tram, and you are now on a long tram ride from the detainee deck to the AI core. And through that, you passed through the quantum core room where you saw the quantum core of the Ark Prime. And I don't think I mentioned it there, but that is also what is sending out the quantum ray. That is the source of the quantum ray. And so there's like a focused, huge beam coming off of the quantum core, and like there's nothing you can do about it from the tram. Like you're an ant passing through this wide chamber. And so that's where we're going to start tonight, is on the tram. You guys also leveled up before the break, so you're now actually level 20, which is crazy.
Fucking bananas.
But I want you guys to take this episode you're going to get a long rest, but we can deal with that at the end of this. But I want you guys to take this moment where you don't have anything else that you can do but sit and be with each other, to, sit and be with each other, and just kind of take a breather, because you haven't really got to stop since the Ark Prime arrived in the Absalom Station airspace, right? Like it's been non-stop. You had like a little bit of time with the Moon Giants, but you haven't like really stopped in, I don't know, 24 hours at this point?
At least, yeah.
That brings up a point I was curious about, and it's likely inconsequential and probably pedantic, but I was curious because like whenever you started off and it's like we're on a tram, immediately in my head I was like, we're on a midnight train to nowhere, and I was like, is it midnight? Like what time of day is it? Like we've been going
really know,
and like it just feels like this place is eternally night, so like I have no, and that's part of the I guess mystery and otherness of this location, is like not knowing even.
It's like a casino, you just
right.
you have no idea what.
No frame of reference for like what.
You don't know how long
the day-night cycle would be.
You were in the simulations, you know what I mean? You don't really know how long you were there.
Because time is all fucky-wucky with the quantum ray.
That is true.
Right? Add that into the mix too.
I was going to say we could check our watches.
I was going to say check with Terry, see if he knows, but I'm assuming quantum ray.
And they'll all be different times, like on our different watches.
You actually did try to do that, and I conveniently wiped his memory.
Oh yeah,
of that.
It's like reset.
It's got 12 flashing.
12 just flashing. Yeah.
The little flat battery fell out.
Yeah.
There was a power surge.
The five of you are on this tram. I'll answer any questions you might have, but kind of want you guys to just kind of take the lead here for a little bit. You can talk about your level up. You can role play it if you want. I know it's a little difficult because you don't have a lot of space or time, but let's just kind of go around the table and see what your characters are feeling about what's going on and what some of their abilities are. I mean, level 20, does anybody want to start, or shall I pick from the class?
I'll go ahead and start and get mine out of the way, because it's kind of a nothing burger for me. It's not bad, but it's kind of a nothing burger because I multi-classed and put that one level into soldier. So I would have gotten like tech master, extra to computers and engineering, whatever. But now I can do. I can dictate a target of an overrides action for the next round. So I can actually take control of a robotic enemy for one round. My rig can now communicate with your ship up to an orbital range. So that's kind of
neat. Nice. That is very neat.
You had to get to level 20, 19 to be able to do the like KOTOR style hacker robot and like make it fight for you for a round or whatever.
Yeah, but it's literally one round. So which is helpful, but also kind of like really 19 for that?
Doesn't feel great. Yeah.
No, and I would have had quad tracking, but I don't have that, which is okay. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of like there's not that much for Fel.
So let me ask you this, Josh. What is going on inside Fel's mind as you're sitting here heading towards the AI core to defeat a 1,000,000-year-old artificial intelligence that's wreaking havoc on the universe?
Man, I have been thinking on it and trying to figure it out, and I could not come up with much of anything. So because of that, Fel being an extension of me, he's just kind of blank, doing, in the moment, like knows that there's this great danger that he's going into, but doesn't really have an emotional reaction to it because it's just too big. It's too much to try to process. So it's just not.
Well, it's interesting if we look back with Fel, and if you remember in the very first book, you guys explored a pre-Gap Aslanti ship that had crashed, and Fel had a breakdown at that point. It was like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm not cut out for this, and it was like a big deal for Fel to even be like part of a squad, because at that point in Fel's mind, he was just a mechanic, and I just bring that up to say, the difference between Fel then and Fel now and everything that he's been through. I think there was a while ago that Fel made peace with the fact that he is part of this elite squad, but like, I think maybe your lack of feeling now indicates that even more, that it's like the mission is still happening, and if I open myself to feelings, then I'm losing sight of the mission.
And
right?
that's
what
really
I'm getting?
Yeah, what it is, that he doesn't have room to think about anything else right now.
Because Terry's just yapping in your brain all the time.
I flipped that mute switch a long time ago.
All right. Well, good deal. Let's move over to Kuiper.
All right. Yeah. So I guess in the same approach, Kuiper's level up. For anybody that's paying attention, he is a multi-class, 3 levels into soldier, and this would be his 17th level, making a total of 20. So for his 17th level, he got double debilitation.
Okay,
which
nice.
Basically is just allows him to provide debilitating attack for both. I mean 2 debilitating attacks in one go.
Right.
As well as an extra D8 on his trick attack damage, granting him a 9D8 to his trick attack.
That's big. That's
yeah,
big.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Juicy.
And I went this route because I knew from very early on that I didn't want to do the Supreme Operative, which is typically the level 20 if you wanted to just do a flat operative all the way to 20, because that's just granting an advantage to your operative specialization skill check. And it seemed a little lackluster to me, So, I'm fine especially with the double debilitation and the free damage to boot. That's a lanyard. That's nice, So I'm happy about that. But as we're speeding along in this tram, I feel Kuiper he's always been a soldier, and he's grown with that mentality through his years. And so for him, he knows what's coming. But it's with a clarity and a purpose, because he knows that what's coming ahead is there. It's already shown how serious it is with everything that's occurred on Absalom Station, and then subsequently with Titanium Mike's death. That a god of time was also involved, on top of the fact that we have a long presumed dead civilization now coming through and trying to abscond with the Starstone. So for them, that's a lot of busy a lot of stuff that's busy going around, and add on to that urgency. But Kuiper has been in these kind of situations before. Not exactly like this, obviously, but for him, he's always been able to break things apart in smaller pieces, to be able to understand what he can control, what he can do, like what he's capable of. He's always been confident of his own capabilities, and all he can do is he can just trust in his own crew. So for him, he's looking around at the other. He's pitched off in a corner, sitting down on the edge, and he's just looking at everybody while he's not even realizing it, because just part of his soldier's training. He's checking the contacts of his battery on his pistol, or on his weapon, on his melee weapon, and he's checking the magazine on his pistol to make sure everything. He wants to make sure that that his guns won't jam, that his weapon won't stop working. He wants to make sure that he's going through his inventory, and he's looking around at everybody, and I think he notices the calm before the storm, and he's seen it enough times. He sees Phil, often, trying to process, and he understands that feeling. He even felt that at one point, several times even, so he's going to let Phil process, and at the same time, he's going to observe everybody else's behaviors during this time, while he continues to go through his inventory.
Okay, good deal. Heath, what's Val up to?
Interestingly enough, I think John's sort of description of Kuiper is a pretty good segue to Val. Now, just to start with, Val is a very introspective and spiritual guy, right? So, I think, whatever we've got a lot of time that we're kind of waiting and going to be on the tram, but I think for some of that time he would be meditating. And in his meditations, he is really trying to, focus, and he's meditated a lot in his life, but he hasn't had a chance in quite a while. But he's sort of oscillating between, the sort of two spiritual halves of himself, which are his devotion to both Wadon and Talavat. Wadon, his sense of exploration and adventure. No grander adventure than he's on right now has he ever had in his life, right? And Talavat, his sense of tradition, unorthodox tradition in his case, but the routine, the study, the practice, both of, the various martial arts that he's sort of tried to download throughout all of his travels, as well as a sense of what you would call Sonder, the fact that everyone around you has a story that is equally personal and important to them as yourself, right? That even though we're in this big, grand, trying to save the galaxy type adventure, he's taking stock, even amidst his meditations, of his new party mates, and trying to be detached, but also think about what they're going through and what they're thinking, and how much this means to them, and how personal it is to them, just as it is to him. And through his sort of oscillations and going where his mind will go, and being just along for that journey, for his level 20 sort of level up, I think really manifests in this meditation, in that he can feel the lethality coursing through him, that he has become the pinnacle of what a weapon of his variety can be, but also the absolute control that he has over that, right? Like, that he not only is dangerous, right, but also that through his lethality, he has the capacity to do so much good and vanquish evil. And I know those are kind of grand terms, but that's what we're doing, you know? And he just feels in tune with every jewel of energy within him. Like, his entire physical and psychological being is a well of potential, you know? And so one of the things you get as a soldier for level 20 is kill shot. You can do a strike and, you know, make an enemy roll, and they may just die from that one shot.
I hope they do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? And through his sort of meditations on his friends and that sense of Sonder of trying to experience things through their shoes, he also takes coordinated shot as his last feat, so he can set you guys up to succeed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's kind of I mean, you know, I put some skill points in, as you do. Not many because I'm a soldier, but I got a feat and I got kill shot, and that's my level up.
I heard that. It's still pretty. It's a pretty dope capstone ability. Just like potential one-shot kill. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's the percentage on that, or how does that work? I may have missed that. I'm sorry.
It's a fortitude save.
Ah, gotcha.
It's like knockout shot, but lethal.
Nice. About it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a straight up save or die ability. Captain, how is Ziva feeling as she looks on her crew and, you know, with the new addition of Val to the party and the lack of Mike, the one that boosted her into her captaincy early on, you know?
I would say for the majority of the ride, Ziva's been quiet. She's kind of been contemplating, much like the rest of the crew, kind of checking gear, just trying to sit and conserve energy, I suppose, and just mentally prepare yourself. Particularly with that, she's been thinking back from the very beginning, from when she was taken from Castrovel, when she was put into the Colosseum, and she was a slave, when she was essentially sold to the pools before they became the true pools. What she built from there, the connections, the network that she helped to build with the APA, with the Android Abolitionist Front, with the Stewards, with Absalom Station, with the Pact Worlds. And then looking back at her crew and seeing that Mike is missing. This is your fault, Adam.
Yep.
And feeling like she failed there. Like there should have been something that she as a captain could have done to save him. That was her job. That, yeah, he's always had her back, was her bodyguard in essence, but she's the captain. And the idea of seeing anyone else on this crew, Val included, go down is just... that's something that she can't quite bring herself to fathom. Once was one too many times. So as part of her level up, she took a new improvisation to try, in the event of a fatal situation to try and circumvent it. A few more steps. This is a reaction. When an ally within 60 feet of you is reduced to 0 HP and would become unconscious, you can compel them to stay up and stagger out of the fray. They become off target and gain temporary hit points equal to your envoy level plus your charisma modifier until the end of their next turn. There's a few other things that kind of go along with it, but basically to just try and keep that person up and stable enough to get them out of
It's a
true
GTFO
death.
button.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And with that, you know,
Or an oh shit button.
oh shit button, yeah. And kind of with that, she's sort of mustering this speech in her head as the tram, you know, moves closer and closer and closer to their destination. She is an orator. She is a leader of people. That's what she's always been from the very beginning. She's a protector of people, a leader of people. And her crew are the people that she most wants to protect. And she may not be the strongest, and she may not be the fastest, but damn it, she can talk pretty good. And one of the things that I got at level 20 is true expertise. You can use a chosen improvisation that requires the spending of 1 resolve point. As long as I have resolve left, I can now use that improvisation, which I'm going to choose Improve to get them. You can use that without spending a resolve point.
Nice.
So now, it essentially, unless I read this wrong, Adam, and you can correct me, but now when I say get them, it applies to
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that I made you cry.
It's okay.
tonight.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
But you know, it seems like there's a lot of people just in their heads, kind of just riding in silence as they approach whatever is going to happen. And speaking of being in their head in silence, that leaves us with Oren, who that is his typical MO.
I was about to say, like, what do you want me to say here, man? You know,
Is Oren going to be the one to buck the trend?
Well, I don't know.
Just
Oren,
intensely focusing on how much he doesn't like it.
Oren pulls out a pack of Uno. All right, let's fuck this friendship
I
up.
thought you were gonna say Marlboro Reds.
well, sheesh, man. I mean, come on. It's a. We're on a train ride, on I mean, it's surely a suicide mission as far as any of them are concerned. You know, how much higher could the stakes possibly really be? You know what I mean? How much depends on their success? And obviously, Oren is thinking about these things. This is the first chance they've had to stop, right? And as Oren's wont to do, he appears stoic on the surface, but I mean, he's roiling underneath, right? He's obviously thinking about Mike, thinking about in the same way that Ziva is, you know, what could he have done, right? What could he have, you know, playing that moment back over and over again, right? I think he certainly feels similar to how Fel does, where it's like he knows that he needs to be focused on the mission. He knows that, you know, if he loses kind of control of his own emotional state, that it's, you know, the likelihood of failure becomes so much greater. You know, I think that he, like Kuiper, trusts his crew and he trusts his equipment. You know, he certainly feels that way. And like Val, I think he also is feeling at this level up, the sense of how much power he has access to now. I think in a lot of ways, everyone else's emotional state is bleeding into Orin's because of their telepathic bond. I don't think it's a conscious thing that anybody's doing, but I think that just the nature of where he's at, I mean, level 20 is insane, man, for a mystic. I think that he's feeling all of this, all of these subsurface emotions, and it's honestly, like with everyone else, it's overwhelming. He doesn't really know what to do, but he's also thinking about his interaction with Xeno, and he's thinking about the end game here and what all this means, what's happening with this convergence. What are these two cosmic entities that are converging here? What does this mean? What is happening? And I think that in sort of this maelstrom of thoughts that are running through his head, he wants to try to escape. He wants to try to get some clarity, and he will cast transcendence and leave his physical form and try to rise up through the Ark Prime out into the vacuous, emptiness of space, where he finds that he can think the clearest, hoping that he might, I don't know, summon Xeno in some way to help get some clarity.
Yeah, so you do transcend, and I will say this, Zach. You know that Xeno is on the Epic Tracer, and you know that the Tracer is in orbit of the Ark Prime.
Can he God, what is the actual term? Astral projection. Astral projection is the term.
Okay.
Yeah. Can he get to the Tracer?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
We'll say he can.
Okay.
For the sake of story, right? But yeah, and I think that you can, actually,
It's pretty long distance.
So you project yourself, the rest of you see Orin's body just kind of like go stiff, and his eyes roll back in his head, but it doesn't look quite as much like the seizure that it did when it first happened to him. I think that you all know him enough to know that this is intentional, and thus wouldn't try to disturb him.
Yeah, I think Val would at least get it on a spiritual sort of level.
Yeah. And Orin, your consciousness and the representation thereof does appear on the Epic Tracer, on the bridge of the Tracer, where Etram is like, "Oh God, what, Orin? How'd you get here?"
Don't ask, Etram. It's a long story.
With you guys, that's usually the case. I'm glad to see. Are you alive or are you dead? Is this your spirit?
Again, don't worry about it. I'm
kind of worried about it. Are you alive?
I understand.
Or are you dead?
Clearly, I wouldn't be talking to you right now, Etram. We got bigger fish to fry right now, man. Focus.
All right. Well, how's Ziva? Can you at least tell me that?
She's fine.
Okay. And the rest of the crew?
We're on a train inside the ship, heading to try to shut down the
I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
See, you wanted me to go on, and then I.
Well, no, I just wanted to know that the crew was okay. All right, but you guys handle all the complex stuff. I'm just here for the ride. It's been weird though. Xeno, we've been trying some things out. And we just can't get close to the. Well, I'll let him explain.
Is he around here?
Yeah, Xeno actually is behind Orin at this point.
Okay.
And he kind of just flickers in at the mention of Etram mentioning Xeno at this point. And he says, Orin.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Hey.
I see you've gotten better at projecting yourself here.
You learn as you go.
So, you've come across some trouble in your journey to the center of the Ark Prime, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Well, I have had some breakthroughs here, but there's still questions. You see, I have been analyzing the frequencies emitted by the quantum ray, and while there has been headway, it has not been without its difficulties. There has been interference every time Etram flies in proximity of its effects, as he's no doubt pointed out. So, securing it by these means proves formidable. From my calculations, the stone will breach the dome of Absalom Station within 10 hours. That does not leave a lot of time. I'm still trying to derive the meaning behind what we witnessed in our first encounter. But one thing does elude me. Could you, Oren, please provide me the notes of the Song of the Cosmos?
GM?
Mm-hmm.
I can do that? Or do you want me to hum the...
No, you don't. I mean, yeah, if you don't... You, Zach, don't have to do that unless you want to.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen.
Come on, man. RP it, dude. No.
Do the mouth noise version of the Seinfeld song. That's the Song of the Cosmos. But specifically somebody doing it with mouth noises.
Oh, no.
No, but I mean, Oren is not a musician. He certainly wouldn't say, well, it's in C minor. So it's,
Well, so Zeno
it's a 1-5-4.
can analyze it if you're able to just
so Oren would.
But you have a spell called Song of the Cosmos,
absolutely.
right?
Okay, yeah. So
yeah.
Oren would, I guess, cast that spell, hum that tune, channel that frequency through him.
So you see like a holographic display pop up measuring the waveforms and translating to another display that's coming up, and it's going through these calculations, trying to figure out.
Let me help you out a little bit here with some music theory here. So, like, every note in a song has a value. Like music is math in a lot of ways, and so like
1 through 12
what I'm
envisioning,
right, and like how much time a note takes.
Sure. Yeah.
To it's a quarter note, half note, all those types of things, beats per minute. All that is just mathematical formula. And what I'm envisioning here is what John Coltrane was trying to do with his, like, he was trying to figure out the universe with music. Like, I don't know if y'all know this about him, but he, like, for real was digging deep into the science and math of music to try to uncover some secrets about how the universe works. I think you guys are in the process of doing that now, by like measuring the math of music. So Oren is casting this song out into the bridge of the epic tracer, and Zeno's analytical mind is processing it all like note by note, rhythm by rhythm, all the math of it, and it's like helping Zeno make some calculations. All right, so go ahead. You're muted.
Thank you, Oren. This will take some time to analyze and conclude my results. In the meantime, I wish that all of you, please keep your wits about you. It's only going to get more difficult from here on. And we've lost one too many already.
Zeno, why don't you give me it can be either mysticism or computers isn't really right, but it's like the closest thing to like, and it may be physical science.
Okay, all right, okay, so physical science?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, he's great at that. Okay. All right. That is a 37.
Okay. So you actually are able to quickly analyze at least part of the song. We'll say the first verse that unlocks a piece for you.
Okay. These simulations that I've run, it seems to me, based on what I'm reading here, the green anomaly we encountered serves as a representation, a simulacrum of, well, the rune drive. The demonstration we witnessed seems ominous, but I believe it conveys that somehow the rune drive itself is part of the key to potentially reversing the quantum effects experienced on Absalom Station.
So that sends Oren's mind racing, you know. His first thought would be, I guess I'll ask this, could the purple star be the Star Stone?
It is indeterminable at this moment. More calculations have to be run on that to identify. But with all these complexities, the hard part is still getting the rune drive close enough to the quantum core. So we need... the team will need to defeat Viranche in the effort to disable the security measures and defenses.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case. That won't hurt my feelings either way.
But I'm uncertain whether I can provide any further illumination to these solutions. And I don't know if I can get them to you in time.
Yeah, well, Zeno, I appreciate all your hard work on this, but we're getting down to the wire, and I don't have a fucking clue what any of this means, but I recognize how significant it all must be. And, getting a little worried about how it's all gonna shake out.
And I mean,
Zeno, you recognize that's like the understatement of the year coming from
right. I feel he would just return that understatement as well and just say like, it troubles me as well.
I don't like it.
I too don't like it. Well, yeah, I think at that, you know, that there's this understanding that Zeno is going to keep working now with the Song of the Cosmos, and hopefully he can understand. Go ahead, John.
And then, you could almost detect some emotion behind his words at this point, and it's possibly the effects of the quantum ray. But you see, like the care or the concern in his eyes, as far as what this means, as far as, you know, if there is failure on any bit of this, that everything could just completely unravel. And he's Oren, I know you're going to do everything that you feel is right. And I know that you must hold some blame towards yourself for Michael's death. But you should not harbor that. For you can do everything perfectly. and still come out behind. You can still lose. You can still fail without doing anything incorrectly.
Hit you with the Picard speech, huh, man?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oren is certainly appreciative, and says, thanks, All right. I gotta run. and he'll just
We'll see you.
sink through the floor, like
It's like y'all are both like both holographic and transparent.
Fleeting- fleeting
Etrim is just
forms.
like, oh my
We just both just flicker out,
Yeah, I would just imagine Etrim just being like, any instructions for me? Like, anything you want me to do?
Shit, we just left him on
I'm
red,
not
dude.
important? Okay, we'll see.
It's just like, I just used to be a bouncer.
Just keep
What
flying around the
happened?
ship. Just keep flying around the ship.
I'll just keep flying this ship, specifically within 2,000 miles.
Right. So I'm going to ask Ziva for a raise after this.
That's fair. That's fair.
He'll probably get one.
He will.
He did kill a dragon. I just want to say, for the record, as the person playing Etrim when that happened, he did in fact kill a dragon.
That is bonus worthy for sure.
Yeah. Make sure he gets a cost of
so,
living raise after this.
As Oren is like going back to his actual body, he also collects the inspirations of the cosmos with him, and let's do one final round of inspirations, guys.
Okay.
No, don't say final. We're still very funny people.
No, like you can still get
We
inspirations,
can
but
get some more, man.
this is the last like giving the whole table one.
Cumulative, or not cumulative, like group communal
Communal,
inspirations.
Yeah, there you go.
Zach, why don't you start this time?
Sure. What do you want me to roll?
D6 first.
Okay. 1.
All right. You know what? We're gonna do all personals.
All personals.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. So,
So we don't need to roll at all.
well, you'll need to roll on the personal table, but
Okay.
Zach, roll a D10 for me.
Okay. Sure. 4.
4. All right. This is from J Laptop.
What's up, J Laptop? Shout out.
Oren's reached that old age where he doesn't give a flying fuck about what some 40-year-old nerd on the internet is saying to inspire him.
Okay.
Hopefully, you, Zach, can at least gain some insight from Oren's lack of need to impress folks and just be himself and roll the damn die with a bonus.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. You know what? We got a bunch of these two that are left here. I'm doubling down. Roll
Okay.
again.
Sure.
Roll again.
Oh.
5.
5. All right, this one's from J-Rod.
J-Rod.
Going out of business sale. Oh, no.
The guy, dude.
My boy.
All right, J-Rod says, Zach, way to call your shot. You're going to do great.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate you.
All right, very nice. This should make you guys nervous that I'm giving away inspirations.
Yeah, I like
Throwing that.
I like
You
that you're
know
giving
there's a boss
inspirations.
fight.
I don't like that you're giving
Yeah,
inspirations.
yes.
I don't like that.
We are, in fact, getting 2 of them, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This isn't like we're getting 1,
2
but
for
like,
1,
let's
yeah.
do 2.
No.
2 because it's fun.
No, we're keeping it by the rules here that we set. All right, Heath, why don't you go next? So
okay.
for you, your table will be a D12.
I want to make an aside very quickly before I do.
Oh,
roll
Lord.
this. It's I'm going to try to be quick. The conversations we all just had, and Zach's conversation with Zeno, like it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks all of a sudden with all everybody's introspection and stuff. But it just reminded me like very fiercely for just a second of like your first time doing acid, where you like have that feeling of like everything is just so significant, you know, like everything matters so much.
Yeah.
So I am, my titanium mic die.
Oh.
I don't know if I'll ever get to use these again. So what am I rolling?
D12.
12. Alrighty.
Roll it twice.
4. I got a 4 again.
All right, roll again.
I got a 4 again.
Wow.
1.
Okay. The 4 is going to be from Hot Rats.
Yo, yo,
Very
yo.
cool.
You need to read it.
Hottest of rats.
Read it 3
Dragons?
times because you rolled a 4 3
It's a
times.
sexy rodent. Yeah, I get 4 inspirations is actually how this works.
You wrote it.
A haiku.
Oh.
Assuming omens. Oh. Let me start over.
Do it, coward.
Assuming omens. Titty Mike challenges all. Birds fly. Music plays.
Damn.
Well, hey, man, Mike was alive and well when he wrote that
Yeah,
thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Bell rung.
And J Laptop for your one
My
here.
boy.
In the words of Apollo Creed, do everybody a favor and knock this chump out.
Yeah.
Still relevant. Still
Yeah.
relevant.
yeah, it
still
is.
relevant.
Okay, hey.
All right. Very good. Very good.
All right, 2 more.
No.
And they both better be Rocky quotes.
John, you're up. D12s, please.
Nine.
9. Okay.
5.
5. All right. The 9. This is from Booyah.
What up, Booyah?
Yo, what up, Wayne?
You have seen King Giz more recently than me. And for that, I'm jealous. Just get Ambrose's rapped verse from Iron Lung going in your head to be inspired.
Fair.
All right. Okay.
Very specific inspiration.
Well, it's on point for a personal one for John,
Yep.
I think.
Yes.
That's
yes.
good.
Very
And
much
what was the other one?
a 5?
Five?
Yeah.
All right, this one is from Wayward. Haven't seen Wayward out there in a while, but I hope you're sticking with us at the end because
Cheers,
here's
man.
your personal
Way
inspiration.
up.
I really enjoy the voices you do for each character. It ain't easy, and I appreciate it.
Thank
Aw.
you. Thank you
Aw,
so
that's
much.
nice.
I agree with that sentiment.
I-
John does a really good job with the voices.
I concur.
Thank you.
Okay, Emily, you're up.
All right. What I do?
You're gonna roll a d10 for me.
I'll roll a d10. Watch me. That's a fur.
Okay, and
And a 9.
all right, great. So this one's from Porter Paladin.
What up, Porter? What up, Mike?
May this inspiration be a light to you in dark places when all other lights go out.
Oh.
Now fix your shit or Galadriel is going to be very disappointed.
Well, get your disappointed hat on, Gladys.
I love when the inspiration takes a turn. You know.
This one is so perfect, especially after what you just said about what Ziva is feeling in the moment. This one's from Erobs.
Hey, Robs.
In this moment of uncertainty, remember that your whole crew is behind you. Go get them.
Oh. It's fine. I'm not going to cry again.
Over under on the number of times Emily's going to cry tonight.
It's fine. Shut
Let's
up.
set it at 4. Set it at 4 even.
All right, and to clean it up here, Josh, you're up.
What do I need to roll?
You're going to be rolling 10s for me, please.
All right. First one is a 10.
Okay, great. And the next one?
6.
All right, the 10 is from Erobs.
E-Robs.
Don't worry, buddy. I bet Terry has Fel's back in this hairy situation. Look, he's giving you a little extra help with this little inspiration right here. You got this.
Thank you for that. That's probably the least irritating that Terry's ever been.
I love that he did shift a little bit midways through into Terry voice. So.
Yeah, kind of had to, you know. All right, and you know what? It wouldn't be right if we didn't have one from Alex G. All right. All right. Hi, big guy. Listen, I know you've been through a lot. Your pet dinosaur died last year. You didn't win Miss Alabama for the third year in a row. And you had very sharp poops. You've dealt with a lot of hardships and hard shits. So I just want to say that I love you. And no matter what, I will be there cheering you on in that cheerleader outfit you like so much. You know the one. No, not the green one with the stripes, but the polka dotted one. You're doing great, buddy.
Oh, man. And to add insult to injury, Nick Saban just retired.
Thank you for that.
Oh, God.
I'm going to start to tear up now. This is tough, dude. This is tough. All right. So, Orton comes back into his body. His eyes roll back forward. You see the pupils. And boom, you're back there in the present. What do you do?
The first thing that Oren would do, right? Like, again, he's just a storm of thoughts and feelings and worries and dreads. And I think that he, knows that he can't fucking do this by himself. And so he reaches out to Ibra. And he, in the process, casts a spell called Calm the Storm.
Oh, cool.
And the spell itself mechanically will give me some just like resistance to, mental attacks and that sort of thing, right? But flavor-wise, I think he's gonna ask for Ibra to fortify him, spiritually, in order to do these things, right? So he casts that, and I mean, at this point, I'm level 20. I'm one with my connection, as far as the character sheet says. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Ibra will happily oblige that. And I'm not going to ask you. Is that cool?
Way to take the zip out of it. Like,
did I take the zip out of it? We can take it back. We can take it back.
What I was going to say is that, as you do that, the lights in the tram dim for a second, and then they come back on, but they're like a soft, maybe we'll say like lilac hue, and you can hear the Song of the Cosmos very softly playing throughout the speakers in the car.
Okay, I like it. I like that a lot. But as he does that, and as he refocuses, he looks up, he looks around at everybody. We've all been so silent, right? And he looks at the captain, and he's reflecting on the journey that he's had, with the cap, and how important she is, and how important it is to him that she makes it out of there. You know what I mean? That's like, because she's got the potential to do so much good in this position of power that she has recently acquired, and I think that through his experiences with this crew, Oren became so much less of a misanthrope, right? He learned to value people, and I think that he sees the capability that Ziva has for inspiring people, for being that leader, and so he looks to her and he says, "Cap, you got any inspirational words? I think we could all use them right about now."
Fel quietly looks at her.
As opposed to loudly looking at her.
Val also quietly looks at her.
Yeah, Kyver quietly looks at her.
Ziva kind of smirks a little bit at you, Oren, and glances around the car. We have been through so much. And she looks specifically at her three crew. And then she looks over to Val and she says, "All of us have been through so much. There is more to come. But know this. And she just smiles really big. Like she kind of goes from this somber tone into an almost a joyous energy just radiating out from her. And she looks around and she just smiles and she tries to push positive thoughts and love and hope into everyone in this car. There is nothing we cannot accomplish when we work together and we work for the betterment of everyone out there. And she gestures towards what she hopes is Absalom Station still. The Civ. They are simply one more problem for us to solve. I know that we will come out of this all right. Because we are the APA. And this is what we do. We protect people. You are my people. And they are ours. All of them. The Pact Worlds, the universe at large, they are our people. And we will stand strong. And we will take this story back. And she looks to Val. We will take this story back. And we will tell them how we all work together. The ships that helped get us here. The people who were lost. We will tell their tale. The story is not over. But I assure you, we will have a glorious ending. No matter what. And at this point, she's kind of been walking down the car, and she kind of like touches everybody on their shoulder. And she gets to Orin. And she kind of crouches down in front of him and grabs both of his hands. No matter what? And squeezes a little bit.
I mean, he'll squeeze back and nod, looks Eva in her eyes, just letting her know that he's on the wavelength. And he says, "For Mike."
For Mike. Let's do this. And she stands up and tries to, with every little ounce of energy that she has, tries to exude that powerful, in control essence that she's sort of cultivated over her many years. And she just smiles and she says, "Let's finish this. Yes?"
That's right, for the IPA. Let's save the fucking galaxy.
And we'll see you.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, you waited way too fucking long for that. We'll see you, dog.
I got that pregnant pause. We'll see you. Okay.